Morning everybody, this is Lainey from Hilltop Home Place. I have made 2 videos this week that you never saw. I never aired them. I haven't scrapped them completely, but I don't know, just doing the editing and this, that, and the other, I just felt like they lacked cohesiveness. That little pause there probably lacked cohesiveness. But I'll do them over, I think. I'll do them over because they had to deal with certain topics with gardening that I can do later. It wasn't a timely thing. It wasn't like anything timely. So I can do them later. Maybe I'll just be real and ask you, sometimes does your mind just wander a lot? You're happy. I'm extremely happy right now. My garden's growing good. Our life has kind of gotten into a little routine, and I kind of like that. I like having a little routine, and everything's going good. Everybody's healthy. Grandkids are healthy. Everybody's doing good. The weather's been great. Haven't had any bad storms to worry about or anything like that. Everything's doing good. And yet, I'm just itchy for something. I don't even know what. I was thinking this morning, I remember in the Laura Ingalls books where she just said, I want to go west, Pa. I want to go west. And he said, I do too. But I promised your ma that I would put you girls in school, so we have to stay here. And they settled down in De Smet, the Dakota Territory, and that's where Pa and Ma stayed the rest of their lives. Laura ended up traveling more because she ended up in Missouri, but they pretty much stayed. And I'm having those angst feelings here lately, like I want to go. It's not really practical. I don't really need to spend the money to go right now. We do take little drives every day just around the area, within so many miles of our house. We explore country roads that we didn't really notice before. We always say, when I'll go down a new road, I'll tell my husband, we haven't been down this one before, and he'll say, no, I don't think so. And we enjoy it because what I'm finding is there's so many farms and cattle and homesteads, and I love it. And we both have gotten in the habit of pointing out gardens when we see them. And just house after house, we're seeing corn growing in personal gardens, not just big fields, though we are seeing a bunch of big fields of corn growing, but just personal gardens. I'm seeing people's tomatoes, and then we'll ride by there later on, a few weeks later, and we'll go, ooh, their garden's doing good, So that's been our little way of getting out. But I'm itching for more. I texted my sister the other day and I said, I'm wanting to go fishing. Can we go fishing? It's not something I can really do. I hate to say I can't do things because somebody will just say, oh, you can do this, that, and the other. But let me put it this way. I don't feel comfortable with just me and Richard going on something like a fishing expedition, even if it's just parking on the side of the road to fish. He's got, I'd have to take care of him and get him situated. I would be by myself pretty much, dealing with anything. And so I feel a lot more comfortable to go with other people. So I texted my sister and said, y'all feel like going fishing? And she was like, yeah. So she suggested somewhere, and hopefully we're going to make it happen here in the next couple of weeks. Not only do I just feel like doing that just for the pure enjoyment of going fishing, but, if we got lucky and caught some stuff, I sure would love to have some fish in my freezer. We always worry about the price of this and the price of that. And as you know, I don't raise chickens. I don't raise rabbits or goats or any other kind of meat or anything like that. And maybe one day, but right now it's not something I want to put on my plate. So I'm dependent on the market. I'm dependent on trying to source my food places, and I'm kind of getting pickier and pickier. And of course, getting pickier about it is making my prices go up. As I keep hearing about the fact that they've already been vaccinating pork for years without telling us with the mRNA vaccines, and the fact that I'm hearing that they've also been doing it with chickens without telling us, it has made me just not want to buy any of that at the store anymore. Just none. I realize I've probably already consumed enough of it to, you know, I don't know, do harm. I don't really know what it all does to us. It does make me angry that agencies that are supposed to have our health in mind approve things that they don't know what's going to happen to us with it. And it's made me not want to. When I go to the grocery store now, I pass up the meat aisle. I pass it up. That being said, I do still buy things like bacon and stuff like that, which, you know, what's the difference between buying some bacon and buying a pack of pork chops? Well, nothing. It's just my husband loves a good big breakfast every day. He really doesn't eat lunch. He eats a good breakfast, and then he eats whatever I'm cooking for supper that night. And he loves bacon, and he loves Jimmy Dean sausage, and he loves stuff like that. And so I've continued to buy all that, but I've been thinking lately, you know, just even how to get away from that, you know. And there are some nice USDA approved, which I'm not sure what that means anymore, but anyway, good meat processing places around me that do sell a lot of fresh things that I feel like come from at least better sources than what I might be getting from meat trucked in from whatever area of America or whatever country, because it could be coming from other countries and they don't have to label it as so. You could just think it comes from the Midwest and it's coming from Brazil or wherever. So I feel like as long as I know that these places are buying local cattle from local farmers and processing things, I feel at least better about it. That's another thing. That's where my mind's been going lately, just on all these thoughts, because it can get very confusing. It can just get so confusing about what to do, how to protect ourselves, how to protect our families, what to feed ourselves on a daily basis that isn't going to harm us, and knowing that there's no one really protecting us from bad things. They're really not protecting us. There's agendas. There's just complete and total agendas to keep us from buying fresh food in some cases, from buying raw milk if we want it, from buying things from other farmers. There has to be all these loopholes created where you can't just buy directly. You have to be a member of a herd share or an association, and all these little things where in the end you're still eating the same meat. But for some reason, if you just outright bought it from that person, it's bad. But if you join a herd share or an association and you change the legal way you're buying it, it's okay. So all that gets confusing. It gets confusing. It kind of drags me down. And I get to where I'm not sure where to purchase what or what to buy. And I've kind of let some of my stock run down on things. I do have lots of canned meats that I had canned a while back, so I'm still eating off of all that stuff. But fresh meats here lately is kind of giving me trouble. I do still buy my ground meat from a local provider, Muse 3 Farms, so I'm gonna keep doing that. And he's started growing out meat birds and selling them, and I keep forgetting to text him at the right times to tell him to reserve some for me, so I'm gonna try to get that going. So if I can just get some good meat birds reserved and get maybe a good freezer stock of those, some good ground meat, I'm just gonna let a lot of other things go. I don't necessarily have to have certain cuts anymore of anything. Just the meat in bulk will be fine. Because I just don't want to buy things from the store. Now, how did I get off on this subject when I was talking about other things? I don't know, talking about fishing, talking about things like that. But there again, that's where my mind's been kind of going lately. It's just all over the place, And I felt like the 2 videos I did kind of reflected that. I felt like I wasn't as concise and cohesive as I needed to be when I did those videos, so I just dropped them. I'm gonna just walk around today, show you a couple things I'm working on, and that'll be that. There may not be this big thread running through this video that kind of ties it all together like a bow at the end, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. And that's okay. I do have some good news. My Miracle-Gro is working. I feel it's working on these beans. Let me show them to you. I had stood at the end of this row of Tennessee runner beans the other day, Tennessee half runners, and I had showed you a whole row of yellow half runner beans. They were yellow, yellow, yellow compared to these over here. Just so yellow. You can tell now they're getting back to being green. It took 2 gallons of Miracle-Gro to pour down this row here. 2 gallons on the other side where I have Mountaineer runner beans. And I just kind of poured a little at the base of each plant. Now these particular ones right here had stayed pretty green. They weren't my trouble. But a lot of the other beans had turned completely yellow. And I told you I would update you at a week and let you know how they were doing. Well, you can see that I've got a lot of green coming back. I've got a lot of green coming back, and I'm so happy. And look, these have even set some runners, and they have some buds. Look at there, they have buds. More buds there, a runner. So they're doing good. If you just glance, you can still see where there's yellow. See that whitish yellow and all right there? That was what was completely covering the plants the other day. But you can see the green coming back. Y'all, you have to do what you got to do sometimes. You just have to do what you have to do. Look at that one. That plant was almost dead. And look at all that new green growth. They were starving for nitrogen. They were starving for nutrition. And yes, there's a lot of ways you can deliver things. But when the plants are almost dead, sometimes you just have to deliver it the quickest, most efficient way you can. And I chose to do that with the Miracle-Gro. Let me walk over here to the Mountaineers and see. I haven't been over there this morning. Oh, they're looking a little better too. They're looking better too. You can see I have green coming back on those. Little bud. They're looking better. The other day, these aren't looking better too much. The other day, that's how all of them were looking, that white and dead. Oh my goodness. But, kind of going fast, I know. But these are looking better. Look at all that green coming back. Look at all that green. Got a lot of green coming back there too. So I'm happy about those. The Miracle-Gro recommends that if it seems to be helping, to go ahead and reapply after 7 days. So I did. I've got 1 gallon mixed right over there, and I'll reapply as I run out. I'll go mix more. Sprayer would be nice, but I don't have a sprayer. But that's going to take care of that right now. I'm happy about that. I feel better about it, and maybe in the end I'll end up getting some beans out of this. My bodacious corn did not get as tall as it should have. It's about 5 to 6 foot tall right now. Some of it, I would say 5 to 6 foot tall. But it's all putting on ears. The ears are coming on, and they're growing a little every day. They were just like little thin sticks the other day, but they're all kind of growing now. Right there's an empty spot where a stalk was, a big beautiful stalk, and my dog pulled it up the other day while I was out here working. He just pulled it up and ran with it. And they've never done that before. And I was mad. I mean, it made me mad to see that beautiful ear of corn just get pulled out of the ground. And by the time I figured it out, he had chewed on it and everything. Oh, it made me so mad. I've been harvesting off of my striped bush beans every other day all week. They're starting to get some yellow leaves on them, but I'm not worried about that because that's what beans will do. I call it shooting their wad. When they have produce, and they have shot their wad and they've given you just abundance of beans and all like this, they'll start kind of getting yellow, and because they're done. They're just about done. Now you could wait and see if they put off blooms again and they want to do a second set of beans. And I might just kind of see. I don't see any buds really right now, so I'm not sure I'm going to do that. But once I pretty much have them picked down, I'm probably just going to cut them off at the base, called chop and drop. Just chop them off at the base, and then I'm going to come through here and put something else here. And I think I'm going to put some cowpeas. because it's warming up, these are in full sun, and I think the cowpeas will grow a lot better. These are my black-eyed pea cowpeas growing right here right now, and they're doing wonderful. I've got a chore right here that I keep putting off. You just put things off. I don't know why, but I put them off. I know I do. I need to take that roll of metal mesh there, like fencing stuff, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie it to these posts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start about a foot up. I'm not going to start it at the ground. I'm going to start maybe a foot up and then let it go a little bit taller than the post, however taller it needs to be, because this is where I planted my cucuzzas, and they're coming up. I've got 1, 2, 3, and over there I've got 3 more, so I've got 6 altogether coming up. I'm going to put that metal stuff from that post to that post and then come to this post, and that'll give the cucuzzas a big tall kind of fence to climb on. So we'll see how it goes. This has been laying here 2 weeks. I'm not sure who I think is going to show up to put it up, but they haven't shown up yet, dadgummit, so I guess I'll have to do it. I'm just kidding. My Grandma Nellie's yellow mushroom beans are coming back, believe it or not. This end took a hit. This end still doesn't look that great. I'm going to reapply some Miracle-Gro today and just see what happens. But as you go down the row, you can see they really pop back down here. They've really popped back, and they're looking a lot better. So after this second application, we shall see. I might end up getting some of these yet, not sure, but at least can try. I've got some climbing cowpeas. I think I have some Texas Fieldhorn peas that say they need trellising, and so I can come back and put those here, but I sure did want to get some beans off of here. My Hedrick Greasy cut short beans, you can see they're starting to put off pods now. See the pods all hanging there? These beans have done pretty good. They haven't gotten extremely tall. There's more pods set there. They haven't gotten extremely tall, but they are setting a good many beans. So I think in the next probably week or so, I can start maybe picking some of these in the next week or so and end up getting a few off of there. See my wood piles I still haven't done anything with. There's certain chores that kind of overwhelming me right now. I think that's another thing. When you have things that are overwhelming you and you feel like every time you walk around, you're looking at something that's like a brick on your back, you kind of want to just get away sometimes, just so you don't have to look at it anymore. And that might be kind of what's going on in my mind. I just kind of want to get away from some of these chores that I haven't gotten accomplished. Still watching my Scarlet Runner beans grow. They're hanging in there. I was expecting them to be a little bit more lush. They're a little bit more spindly looking than I thought, but they are growing. Every time I come out here, they're growing, especially down at this end. What is it about this end that they like better than that end? I don't know, but they are climbing all the way to the top of the ramp. And this part right here is doing really good. Ooh, oh no, I thought I saw a bean. I was thinking yesterday, where are the beans, you know, but I haven't seen any yet. I thought I saw one just now, but I didn't. This little area over here, this is my sugar kettle with my Speedy bush beans in it. But this little area over here, I'm probably filming at the worst time of day because your cucumbers kind of limp over during the day. But I have a honeydew melon here, White Wonder cucumbers here, mixed in with some Italian heirloom tomatoes. And then down there I have another honeydew and some beautiful zinnias that are coming up. Well, they're blooming already. They're just beautiful. But this whole little area makes me happy when I come down the ramp and I see it. I can look down in it from up high in the ramp and see cucumbers. You can see these white cucumbers there, White Wonders. Look at how tall this tomato plant has gotten already. This is a Mamie Brown's pink tomato. Never had that one before. We shall see. We haven't had any rain to speak of in probably 2 weeks. So I got out here and set the water hose, the sprinkler, on these plants a couple of days ago, and it just made all the difference. They're just turning green and setting more leaves now, it seems like, than they were before. You don't realize sometimes things just need a little water. They just need a little water. Maybe that's just me. I tended to forget about some things. I was focusing more on certain things, and I forgot about some of these other plants, and I need to pay them more attention. This is the other Mamie Brown's pink tomato plant, and it's doing good. I do have tomatoes coming on my plants. That's a Jubilee tomato right there. Have another one right there. This is the Dallas Edwards pole beans. They're climbing and growing. We'll see what they do. My Robe Mountain Tommy Toe tomatoes, as per expected, they're already putting off a lot of tomatoes. A big bunch of them there. And they don't get much bigger than this. They're kind of a saladette tomato. But boy, are they good. They're very, very good. And it's so little that it's hard to see. But my honey cream corn that I just planted the other day is coming up. Got some little shoots there, and they're all down the rows. What I can't wait for is some of these cantaloupes to produce. I have them growing. There's Sierra Gold right there. And I think I have 3 or 4 of those Sierra Golds all up in here. There's another one there. And another one there. That's what I can't wait to mature. I'm ready for that. I put up 8 pints of pickles already from my cucumbers out in my corn patch garden and these White Wonders. The White Wonders, they're right here by my house, and the garden burpless cucumbers. That's what I put out in the corn patch. Both of those are doing wonderful. Those are my 2 best cucumbers. The rest of my cucumbers have not put off anything yet that I can harvest. The rest of them that I have are General Lee's, Double Yield, and Sumter pickling cucumbers. And none of those have put off anything yet that I can harvest. Doesn't do me much good if I can't harvest it. But the Garden Burpless and the White Wonders have done great. So I've got 8 pints of pickles already, and it was funny because right after Mother's Day, after I made potato salad and chicken salad and everything for Mother's Day, I used the last of my pickles that I had canned. I had canned a lot in 2019, 2020, and 2021, and I had used the last of them right there at the time my cucumbers were coming due. And I just thought, what a blessing, what a blessing. I didn't have to go out and buy one thing. I had the jars, I had the vinegar, I had the brown sugar and everything that goes in it. I had the cucumbers, and I just put up more. I just did more. So that was a big blessing. If I get my act together here shortly, I'll reboot the other 2 videos I did. One was about landrace gardening. It wasn't a bad video. I just felt like I didn't tie it all together like I should have. So I'm probably going to redo it. You have to be in the right frame of mind to talk about certain things and to lay things out in a way that conveys what you want to be conveyed about it. And I felt like I kind of fell short on that. And the other one, actually on the other one, I think I showed you a lot of things that I had harvested. I showed you all the beans in my freezer and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't too bad. I just didn't have a very good beginning to the video, and I felt like I needed to reshoot, and you know, that one kind of bit the dust too. So I'll figure it out shortly. I'll figure it out. Not everything is just, not everything. It's not every day you can just walk out and completely put your thoughts and minds together. You always have. I have, and I know everybody else does, has things that are just going on sometimes in the background that distracts you and keeps you busy. Sometimes it's nothing bad. You have checkbooks to balance, or you have things you need to do and errands you need to run. And yes, it's kind of time maybe to put up another video, but you might not have your thoughts completely in line to do that in a way that you want to do it. So I just kind of scrapped those 2 and just went with this today, which is very informal, and I realized that. But it is what it is, and I just sometimes like to touch base, like to kind of show you things as they go. And I had promised you that I would show you how those beans were doing after putting that Miracle-Gro on them. I've got more mixed. I'm fixing to get at that right now and put more on them. And I'm hoping maybe in a few weeks we'll have some blooms and some pods set and be harvesting some beans. That's what I hope. This is Lainey at Hilltop Home Place. I hope everything's going good with you. Let me know if you get kind of wishy sometimes, if you want to go west, if you just want to just get away, and what you do about it and where you go and what you do. I'd love to hear some stories from you. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.